Hi everybody, it's Gail at the Fun Home Network. I was going to show everybody how to make wood grain using gray to make it look like weathered gray. And I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. I will do another video to actually show how to do a crackle, which is right here, along with another video on how to do the roses, so look for those. I'm going to split it up into different videos so that if somebody just needs to know one thing, that's how they actually do it. I'm doing it on cups. You could actually do it on anything. And I use acrylics. And I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. Only use white as the background. And then I'll use one color gray. And we'll go from there. So I just want to point out that I have a brush that looks like this. And you really want a brush that's weathered, like been abused a little bit. You can use, I have a brush like this. It is kind of big, so you know it is harder to use. I tend to come back and use these. If you don't have a brush that's kind of, it's just stiff and it'll make for the lines a lot easier. So if you don't have one that's like this, you can actually just take a paintbrush and just, I say abuse it. Just go back and forth with it and it will get, you want it to be as sprung out and like a few stray hairs here and there. So with that being said, I have a cup that I painted white. Actually, we'll use this one right here because I intentionally did not make this as smooth as possible because I wanted to show that it really doesn't matter. And if you live in a cold climate and you can't spray paint and you do cups, this is actually a great alternative. This is just white acrylic that I painted on. This was the original color of the cup. And I use a water bottle to hold them because I like something to hold on to. I will do the crackle over this so that in the next video, so that that'll be the color that shows through. This actually has a bunch of uneven spots and some of it wore off. And because I'm going for the weathered look, it really doesn't matter. So I really intentionally just wanted to show that. So with that being said, we're going to put this here. And I just use an old plate and I just wash it off. Some people use paper plates. Whatever works for you is fine. I will show you what I'm using, but you don't actually have to use the exact colors that I use. Just, it's a medium gray. I'm just using the Anita's. And this one is Antique Nickel, it says. And I just want to show that it's a medium gray. And there you go. That's why I put cardboard down. And then I'm going to use some white. And the white will actually help me get the different tones that I need. So I'll squirt a little bit of white on here. And I'm going to try and pick some of this up so I can get it off my working area. Which I just cut up cardboard boxes and put them down because honestly, I can throw it away when I'm done. Okay, so let me dry that off a little bit. And then I have a small thing of water. You really want to do a dry brush technique. So what I do is I just get a paper towel and kind of fold it up. And what I'm going to do is put some of the paint on here, and then actually remove some of the paint before I put it on. So I'm going to get my brush, and I have several just brushes. I may not even use any more other than this one. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. So I just kind of barely put the paint in the, the paintbrush in the paint, and I kind of smash it around. And then you go, and you don't want to take all the paint off, but you want to take a good portion of it off. And then it doesn't really look like you're doing a whole lot, but that's okay because we can come back and add more if we want to. And I'm just going to go up and down. And some of the paint you want to keep on the brush, and then every now and then we'll actually dry it off. So I'm just trying to create the streaks. And as you can see, because of the paintbrush that I'm using, it kind of automatically will form the wood that I need it to. And does it show up here? I have that line that's right here. That was just a line of paint. That's why I was saying it really doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. So I'm just gonna go around And for instance, right there, I did too much, so I can wipe off some of the paint. And I could leave it if I wanted to, but I have a little thing of water right here. So I'll dip my paintbrush in the water and then go over this and then take a towel. And as you can see, it removes most of the paint. And I'm okay with the streaks that are in there. And then I'm just going to sort of build up the layers for a couple of moments. And I will also take the paintbrush, dip it in some water, kind of wipe it off a little. And I want you guys to experiment a little with it. And what this does is it just sort of makes a thinner line. I tend to try to go in one direction and in one fluid motion so that you're not going over the same spot. So we're just going to keep building up. And I'm going to wipe some off. My husband's actually watching a scary movie in the next room, which is one of the reasons I came in here to paint, because not my cup of tea. So if you guys hear anything, I promise, no one's being hurt making cups. He's watching the Stephen King movie, the It movie, if I'm not mistaken, which I'll have to show you guys his cups in one of my videos that I made him. It was Pennywise, and I made it for Christmas. Actually, I'll go run and grab it. While this, I'm just going to let it dry for a second. Let me go grab his cup. So here's his cup that I made him. And then on the back, I put, "We all float down here." Ironically, my husband is really afraid of clowns, but he's a very avid reader and loves Stephen King. So I made that for him for Christmas. Okay, back to the cup. So I also take the white and I'll mix in a little bit of gray, and what this will do is just give you a different shade. And I'm just pouncing into the cup, and then I want to take some of it off, and now I'm just going to start building up the layers. Some I'll take off, some I'll leave on. And really and truly, you can go as far with the grain as you want to go if you want to keep going. Some people might actually feel like this is enough, but I'm going to keep going for just a little bit. So I'm just going to go up and down. Remove some sometimes and not others. Get a little bit more white. Pounce. Alright. Now I'm actually going to show you how to, and I try on the edges, you know, because it'll be weathered. I try to take and not remove the paint, but leave a little bit more on, and then just kind of pounce on the edges a little bit, and that will give you a dark rim on the edges. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to actually make a knot. So I actually just have a little, you could use the same brush, I guess, but I have a little bit of a smaller brush. So you take the paint and you load it on. I'm just pouncing until I get a little bit, and then I'm going to remove some of it, and then we'll put one right here. And what you do is you just go in a circle. Just keep going in a circle. Alright, you guys see that? It's just in a circle, and I have lines. So then I need to make the wood grain go around it. So I don't remove a lot of the paint. You can pounce it a little bit. And then I just go around it. Start at the top, and I want to go around the knot. Start at the top and go around the knot. and then I'll come back in and make another pass on the knot, and then you can just go back over it again. And I just tend to go very light strokes because you don't really want it to get too heavy. Alright, and there's your first knot. And then what I tend to do is just turn it a little bit, and then I want to make another knot right here. So, circles. And I'm trying to leave some of the paint marks because the lines, because the brush is so wiry that it will do that. Alright, now I'm going to take some of it off, start at the top, go around, and follow the line. So, just follow the line. Alright, can you guys see that? Alright, now I'm going to switch back to my big brush, and I'm just going to kind of brush it out a little bit. Just follow it around. And if for some reason you're not happy with your knot, you can just go back over it and make a circle. Alright, I'm going to put some white and just go back over it. And let's do one more knot. Let's see, I got one here and I got one here. Let's make one down here. So full strength, and we're gonna make a circle and just keep tracing around it. And now we can start this way. I'm gonna go around it and go down. Go around it and go down. All right. And now, big brush. Pouncing, wiping off. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put just a tiny bit of water, wipe it off because I just really want it to spread the paint. Alright, go on this side, spread the paint. And then we'll just keep going back around the cup. And when you add water, and after the layers have been built up, it will start spreading. Now, so here's a knot, so I'm going to go around the knot. I'm going to follow with my brush. Same thing here. Follow it around. And then this knot is this way. Alright, I'm going to get a teeny tiny bit more water. Pounce off most of it. And then go back over it again. And that's it, y'all. There you go. And then you can let it dry. If you feel more comfortable, you can epoxy and then do your flower so that in case you mess up on a flower or whatever monogram it is, you're not actually messing up the wood grain that you have going. But I don't tend to do that. I tend to just paint right on the after it does. So you guys, if you'll look for the next tutorial, I'll actually paint on some of the florals that we have.